I'm not perfect. Neither is wood. If you're a perfectionist, wood is going to frustrate you. But there are some tips and tricks to make it as perfect as you can. One of the things you need to do is think about the end of the project. Like the one time in my life I ran 5 miles, I had to think about the finish line, the end, otherwise I would have never made it. So it's important to think through all the steps that get you to the final product. And here we're just doing a ton of sanding and milling, getting these rails and stiles as perfect as we can, as straight, as flat as we can get them. And then we domino them together. We've got a big door, so instead of making one big door, we wanted it to look like two forming one big door. So it's a beautiful end process, but you can see all the little steps that have to happen to get to the goal. So the Festool domino is a big help. The 100 clamps in the studio was a big help for this project. So we made the rails stiles, filled in with the plywood panels. We're going to do a little design detail, little Z in the bottom. And this client wanted painted, which adds a whole nother level of stress because when you paint wood, any imperfection shows up. Again, wood's not perfect. But the saving grace was we got to distress it a little bit at the end, so it helps hide any things you missed. But here we are doing all the final sanding, prep, getting things all smoothed out, ready for paint. It's a very involved process again. If there's a little divot in your wood putty, it's going to show up when you paint it white. Sanding, sanding, sanding. And here we are milling up the detail, little decorative Z. I love how this one turned out, just figuring out the angles, laying out the design. Sometimes I like to split the Z in the middle, but then you have to cut two angles. I decided to go with some easy symmetry on this one. Just gluing in the detail. Now I'm going to start routering out where we put the glass. A lot of times we use frosted glass because you can't quite see through it, but we wanted clear glass for this one because they were going to be looking out into a pool room. So here I am routering, taking little bites at a time, making my channel for the glass panel to sit in. The router rounds the corners, so I had to take my chisels, chisel it out, make a nice 90-degree angle so the glass fits in there real good. Another sand, what? And then here we are putting cardboard down to protect the already perfectly sanded side and start on the other side. Now all the meticulous prep is done, time for paint. A little nerve-wracking, but it's always so satisfying to see it painted. Beautiful. You can see the little bit of distressing we did, give it that farmhouse chic beauty. Man, they turned out perfect.